Hi everyone, this is Angie from the Right Away Coaching channel, and today I'd like to talk to you about ebook bestsellers and how you can conduct some research on Amazon in order to determine and define your market, the market that your ebook will be applying to pinpoint your niche and genre, and to even get a glimpse of your competition. So let's begin by just searching Kindle Bestsellers in the search engine search bar. Now I'm using Google here, but you can use any search engine you prefer. On Google, however, Amazon Bestsellers, which is what we're looking for, appears as a first result. So click on this. And as you can see, we get two columns of bestsellers. We get the top 100 paid bestsellers in the Kindle store and the top 100 free bestsellers. Now, these are just jumbled up genres and niches. We don't have particular columns here. So what we want to do is pinpoint what we are exactly looking for, the market, the niche, or the genre that we're looking for. So let's go to the left over here and click on Kindle eBooks. And as you can see, a list of genres and niches have popped up. We've got fiction, non-fiction, advice and how-to, arts and entertainment, biographies, business, children's book, comics, and so on and so forth. So let's do some research on fiction, because fiction is really selling a lot lately, which is quite strange because a lot of ebook gurus out there and people that give writing tips and publishing tips, they tend to focus a lot on advice and how-to, which are also known as info books and info products. But there is a very staggering rise of fiction in the Kindle ebook market lately. So let's click on fiction and have a look at that. As you can see, nothing has changed in the two columns here. Like, we've still got Safe Haven, Wait for Me. These are the same books that appeared earlier. So fiction is still up there. And let's go to a specific genre. Let's say, well, it's something that is selling a lot lately, which is romance, and let's click on that. Safe Haven is still up there. So in the overall bestsellers on Amazon, this book is right on top, okay? And there's Wait for Me again. So as you can see, romance is really making a comeback, and I think a lot of authors are onto this lately. Like, maybe they're not romance writers by nature, but they're getting into this particular genre because it is really marketable and it's making a lot of sales. And as you can see, romance even has more subcategories here. There's African American, anthologies, Christian, contemporary, fantasy and futuristic, historical, paranormal, suspense, I don't know what that is, series, short stories, time travel, vampires, western. I mean, since there are so many subgenres in this genre of fiction, then there is most likely a market for all of these. But let's click on something random for now. Let's go to, not vampires, because we know that there are a lot of books in that market. Let's go to time travel. Sounds pretty intriguing. As you can see, there are the two columns again, top 100 paid, top 100 free, and there is a fair amount of competition here. So that can mean two things. That can mean that there is already a big marketable genre out there, but it can also mean that there's a lot of competition. There are a lot of other books that are already making sales that you have to compete with. But nonetheless, this is a hungry genre or subgenre. I mean, if you can go to the last, okay, books here, and let's just click on something random, a moment in time. So if this is like the lowest ranking and there are 4.2 out of 5 stars on the review feedback section here, and there are 30 customer reviews, then you've got a lot to compete with. It's not like the last book on the top 100 list is just something, you know, with 1 or 2 stars. It is a 4-star book, so there are a lot of books out there, and what you would have to employ in this case is reading. You're going to have to start reading a lot of these books, getting a grasp of what people are into, what is being sold, what is being marketed well and successfully, and what people are buying, you know, because that's what you want to do. You want to sell, you want people to buy your book. So that was time travel, and you know, it sounds like a bit, let's say, futuristic, a bit sci-fi, but nonetheless it is a subgenre of romance. I mean, who would have thought? So let's go back to Kindle ebooks, okay? And let's have a look at non-fiction. Let's click on advice and how-to. You know, everyone is writing an advice and how-to book these days. As you can see, we've got a lot of books about money and success, and there's some health topics here. Again, we can narrow these two lists down because here on the left we've got sub-niches. We've got diets and weight loss, exercise and fitness, health, mind and body, home repair and improvement, nutrition, parenting and families, and self-help. So let's narrow these two lists down by clicking on self-help. And of course, self-help can be narrowed down even more because we've got sub-niches of creativity, happiness, inner child, journal writing, memory improvement, motivational, personal transformation, self-esteem, spiritual, and stress management. That was a lot to say in one breath. Okay, so let's click on... Let's have a look at spiritual. Let's see how many spiritual books are out there. Oh, we've got archangels, we've got relationships, we've got heaps of different subgenres. There's Eckhart Tolle. You would have thought he would have ranked a bit higher, but we've got archangels ranking higher than that. So a lot of people are pretty desperate now. So healing the broken-hearted, the roads less traveled, trusting life. A lot of these books have pretty generic titles. I mean, you're going to have to skim through them, or, you know, have a look at the sample pages inside and get a grasp of what they're about. Like Living from the Heart. I mean, what can that be about? It's not that specified, but it is being sold for 99 cents, and it is number 13 on the top 100 paid bestsellers. And we've got a lot of free books on this side. Ways to be creative, relationships, how to find Christian books online. Like, you'll be surprised at the books that people are downloading. Breathe. I mean, what's that all about? You know, just because something is really cheap, people will purchase it. And that's one way to get your readers enticed into your books. Have it up for free for a while, and then, you know, put a price to it. Just something cheap to start off with until you build your feedback and get some reviews, and then you can start adding a higher price as you go. But the weird thing here is that you've got number 2, How to Hear the Voice of God, and that's retailed at 99 cents. But then below that, in number 3, you've got a book that costs almost $9. If there's a hungry market, people will pay. You know, and this guy here, I don't know what he's on about, but he's obviously done some good marketing. He's employed some successful marketing strategies, and he's gotten a lot of people to buy this book. That's 4.7 out of 5 stars. It's almost 5 stars, and there are 418 reviews. So you may want to go through these books and have a look at your competition. For example, if you want to write a spiritual book about, let's say there's Buddhism here, Okay, you might want to click on that, have a look at the reviews, have a look inside, click to look inside the book. I'm not clicking on this because I don't want to have to deal with any copyright issues here, but you can have a look at what people are saying, have a look at the sales. This looks like an anthology, so there are a lot of authors here, and it retails at $3.68. So this is another way of doing your research, having a look at the reviews, having a look at testimonials, at prices, and trying to compete. So if you want to write a book on Buddhism, and this is Buddhism Teachings, Ultimate Collection, Texts for Beginners. If you're going to be writing something similar to this and retailing it at, let's say, $5, then you most likely will not get many sales because people will be choosing this one over your book. And it's not that you won't be getting any sales at all, but you will have to be competing with this book, which is retailed at only $1. So that's something to keep in mind. Essentially, the top bestseller, which is The Archangels, is $1. It's a $1 book. So it's really hard to pinpoint what people are hungry for because they may be more hungry for this, $9 book, but since it's $9, it won't rank to the first place here. So what you can do is jot down the niche that you've pinpointed that applies to your book, the book that you'll be uploading. Have a look at the competition, have a look at the reviews, the feedback, how many stars each book is getting, and what people are saying about the book. Go through the testimonials and the reviews. So that is one method of conducting research for your ebook market, niche or genre, and I'm sure that this will help you narrow down to how unique your book is, how unique your niche and sub-niche is, and to also get a glimpse of the competition out there and the plethora of other books that your book will be competing against. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, just pop them down in a comment below, and thank you for joining me. Bye bye.